Hi, welcome to session 9, creating parallel lines of past. Before I even start, I want to make a few acknowledgements. First, I want to acknowledge the surroundings. As you know, last time was winter in April, was snowing during session number 8. Today, spring is back in full force. Everything is blooming, birds are chirping around. It's just beautiful. The second thing I want to acknowledge you for making it so far. I want to acknowledge your commitment to be in this conversation for your own personal growth. That is really something. Congratulations. I also want to acknowledge myself for declaring a few commitments at the beginning of this webinar, and also acknowledging that I am fully subscribed to my vision in relationship to those commitments. I have committed that I will run every single day since I start the webinar, and I did. I'm also committed that every morning when I wake up, I will make a list for the things in my life that I'm grateful for. And I have done it. Life is not the same for me. Things have opened up since that very first day. Things have opened up in a way where I'm really happy and joyful to wake up every morning and receive what life has prepared for me. As I told you in the beginning, session number 9 is about creating parallel lines of past. In the previous session, you have discovered the meanings and the decisions that you have attached to the event that created your breakdown. And now, you have two options. First is go with those decisions and meanings just the same way you created, because your life is fully functional. You're a grown-up man or woman. Your life is already perfect. Nothing needs to be changed unless you see something that's missing and you would like to go for it. That's when option number 2 comes up, where you can update, you can actualize your way of reacting to that specific circumstance that brings up that commitment and that brings up that breakdown in the same time. I can already tell by this session that you're a highly committed person, and your commitment to live a successful life can really benefit from updating your act around that specific breakdown with the current level of knowledge, with the current level of wisdom, with your current circumstances, people that you have around you, goals. Is perfectly doable. Why not? In my case, I have noticed that for 30 years I have been acting as an upset kid and the victim. It took me 30 years to notice all the places and all the things and all the situations where my act was just identical. I had no other way of reacting. It was always the same. And I chose something that you're probably going to choose too. It's really up to you. I chose to update it. I have been through schools. I have been through so many places, visited so many cultures, climbed so many mountains, go in so many valleys. And I think it was about time for me to take a different stance on this. So how do we really do this? What can be done to update ourselves? First is place yourself right after that event. Travel back in time to the place where that event occurred in your life and place yourself right after it, in between the event and the moment that you made that decision. Between when it actually happened, whatever that is that happened for you, and the moment where you decided, just like I did back in the days, I'm a thief and a liar, I cannot be a contribution. Place yourself in between those two. And give yourself the gift of taking advantage of all the knowledge, all the wisdom, and all the emotions, and all the leverage that you're capable of at the present time, right now. It's a huge advantage. Use all this knowledge of today and put it in that moment, in between that event and your decision. You already know that that event that happened back then shifted all your experience across your entire life. You already know that every single event after that bears the mark of that very first event. Except now, you can use so many new things you learn to make a difference for yourself. Let's do that. What is something that you want to say differently? Placing yourself in that moment, in that split second, what is that something that you want to say to make a difference? What is that decision that you want to put in that second? Where everything that you're aiming for today, everything that you're craving for today, everything that is part of your goal, your commitment today, would be already present in your life. Just take a look for a quick few seconds. Like always, just pull a piece of paper and a pen and just write down a few notes. What is that was missing all this time in your life? What was the cost of your decision at that age across time? Applying the same decision of a 5 years old, 6 years old, 12 years old, and applying the same cookie cutter across your entire life. What was the cost for you? And see what was missing all this time. Besides the cost, what else was missing there for you? So what would you choose to declare for yourself? What would you choose to say? How would you declare it? Just write it down, just exactly the same way you would want to say it. The best place to start is from your action breakers, the places where you always get stopped, the places where you would reach that wall with no top. And I wanna share something with you. It's an insight. You might find it useful. Let's consider that, let's name our event X, right? And we're gonna go with an example from one of our participants. In the event X, she got heartbroken. And what she made up, men are dangerous, and I should not give my heart away. And in her next relationship, Y, let's call it Y, she relived every single detail of the X relationship. And of course, men are not to be trusted, and I would not give my heart away. And then, of course, it ended with a breakdown, and they broke up. And then she went for Z. And she has seen that Z relationship as a brand new version in the same old terms of X and Y. And the same way with the next relationships and the next relationships, and you get the trend. What I have discovered is, if we relive every single one of our experiences through the filter of an incomplete experience, every single one of them is going to be incomplete. In every single one of them, we will be missing that sense of freedom and choice. In every single one of those Y, Z, W, we will be looking at life as a painful repetition of that one event that happened when you were 6 years old and your father turned the back on you, or whatever happened. Anyhow, the real curious thing is that if that event called X is completed, all the subsequent events, Y, Z, W, they get completed by themselves. As soon as we take care of that one event that put that wound in our hearts, we get to enjoy life without reporting every single one of the new circumstances, the new people, the new situations, the new opportunities to that incomplete event. So, like I said in the beginning, the purpose of this webinar is to shift your view from repetitions of events in your life that you might not enjoy so much to that first event that's causing all this repetition to go on and on. What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of completing your first event? Well, as you see right now, most of the things we have in our life, not only that they get relived as repetitions of past events that did not leave us happy and complete, but they affect our present. They do affect our happiness right now. We do get to live every single experience through the pleasures or the pain or the suffering or the joys of our past. If this tea right here, the color of the cup, reminds me of a beautiful, happy day at my chalet in the mountains of Romania, I'll be most fulfilled drinking it. But if it does take me in a different place, my experience of drinking tea will not be exactly the same. So this is why it's important to take a look at the things that do not bring us happiness, joy, peace, calm, and connectedness. Take a look for yourself and see how putting that new wisdom, that new commitment, that new knowledge that you have right now into the way events went for you back then changes everything. And not only that, don't stop there. Just take the same ingredients and put it in every of the subsequent events. For myself, I have discovered that what was missing for me in my breakdown of contribution was being bold, courageous, and loving. Bold because I could have said something to my grandmother. I could have said, hey, is anybody missing money in the family? Maybe my mom? Let's go ask her. Or I could have said, Grandma, teach me how to read the clock, and I will never be late again. I didn't do that. I just took it as I'm wrong, I'm defective, I'm whatever I am. And it shifted everything. Anyhow, discovering boldness, courage, and love, and putting all those in every single one of the events since then, including the source event, created such a new freedom for myself in my entire life. Where now, I can be in exactly the same type of event, and I will not make myself wrong for it. Not only that, but I will prepare myself for an event that presents itself as similar to whatever I lived in the beginning. This is a creation session. Up till now, up till step 7 and 6, we have just been taking notes of how our past looks like and what things are present there and how much we suffer because of it, but no, we're going into deep creation. So take your time. Take your time and put down on that paper what kind of person you want to become. What kind of things were missing for you. What new things you want to have in your life. Enjoy your creation session. Take your sweet time, go through it. Go for half an hour if you have to. Why not an hour? But at the end of this work, I promise you, you will discover such new beautiful things that you will be able to have a way of dealing with the same things that got you stopped. You will have a brand new way of looking at those events that will have you be just the way you declare right now. And my friends, changing details in who we are, updating ourselves, actualizing ourselves based on who we are right now, on our experience, our knowledge, based on our circumstances and our circles, our commitments and our communities, does not create just an experience for now, does not shift just the present moment. But if you really look at it, it does shift our entire future. Because the choices and the things that are possible for us now through the light of the new events and the new attitudes we generate for ourselves, our entire future gets rebranded with a new name, a new attitude, and a new possibility. So again, thank you for being in session 9. Enjoy your creation session, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye bye.